Welcome back to the channel, people. As always, thank you for joining us. That's me and the Weasel sidekick, as always. Well, this time we're heading back to Herberts Quarry for part 2. Yes, last time was a bit of a letdown. We had to abandon the adventure, but hey, we don't give up. We're back at it. So we're doing it bigger and better this time. Tonight we're camping. We've got all our gear, set up camp, early start for the quarry in the morning, and the only thing that could possibly hold us back is always our constant battle with the Welsh weather. You know how it is, or you should do by now if you've been watching previous videos. Anyway, you know what time it is? Let's do this. Well, would you believe our luck? We stopped into McDonald's just to have a customary feed up before hitting the road, just like we always do. So we've been sat in there a short while, just you know, chewing the breeze, and we've come outside and absolute torrential downpour. I mean, there wasn't a cloud in sight when we entered McDonald's, and customary to Welsh weather, it's just ridiculous now. How this is going to impact our trip, I don't know. We're pushing on anyway to location. If it's raining up in the mountains, then it might put paid to us actually setting up our tent and camping. We might end up sleeping in the car like we have done before, but at this stage it's all up in the air. This is adventure living for you. So we made it out here to location. It's pretty late, it's pretty black, as you can imagine, a mountaintop location. We've been battling the weather. It's been a terrible drive up here. We're just hoping that it clears up for the morning. We've got a brief respite now, but I can just see it blowing in from the distance. You probably won't be picking this up on camera, but it's pretty bleak up here, but I suppose you expect that being up on the Brecon Beacons out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, fingers crossed for a bit more of a positive start to the day tomorrow. Well, the night didn't go quite according to plan. We didn't manage to get our camp set up. The weather overnight was just absolutely horrendous. The ground was too sodden, the wind, the torrential rain at times. So, as has been the case in the past, we ended up sleeping in the car, which was a very uncomfortable night. It's been quite cold as well. Luckily we had sleeping bags. Now, having assessed the route up here to Herberts Quarry, it was a bit much for Weasel, so I've decided to fly it solo to get out here and get part 2 finished. So yeah, we're on our way up. Probably getting a lot of wind noise. Unfortunately, being this high up, it's difficult to avoid, especially with today's conditions. But with weather fronts rolling in, it's really starting to dramatise the area, and it's It's pretty spectacular up here at the moment. It really is awe-inspiring. Well, I've taken a slightly different route up this time. Took a little detour off of the main path to the quarry, which has been put in for walks and such likes. The route that myself and Weasel took last time. Taking a little detour, and I'm now in one of the main quarrying beds, surrounded by waste piles. Sat behind, I've got the faces here where the quarried rock would have come from, and when you're down in the bottom here of the quarry, it's you really get a sense of the scale of the operation. And this is just one of the quarry beds where they were working. Taking this more off the beaten track route, I'm getting a more extensive route of the, or not route, a more extensive overview of the operation here. It's a lot more sort of scrambling across rocks and stuff, but it's worth the effort. It's given me a totally different picture of the site, of how I envisaged it, I suppose. I mean, obviously a quarry is a quarry, but you get a different perspective when you're actually in here amongst it, rather than taking a tourist footpath route, skirting the edge and seeing the periphery of it. Well, I'm on the final little bit until we reach the offices, based just the sort of about over here, what would have been the quarry offices. So we'll go and have a little rummage in the abandoned buildings and discuss a bit more about the history of the mine and such like in the area. So let's get moving. Okay, well, we're in the relative shelter of the remains of what would have been the office block. As you can see, the windows here open out, looking over the lower parts of the quarry. Obviously, foreman overseeing what was going on, I expect. So let's touch on a bit more of the history of this place. Some of it I went over in the last video, but we'll cover everything again. Now, there's signs that this mine had been working since probably the 1700s. Not only the limestone that's this area known as the Black Mountains known for, but I would imagine a whole manner of different ores and stones and whatever was used back in those times. Now here on site, the main purpose of this mine was to quarry lime. It was burnt on site in giant kilns, and the byproduct of that was known locally as couch, which was used in farming fertilizers, in quicklime and mortar for building work. Now obviously over time, as many people probably know, it's a very dangerous and poisonous substance, and by the 1950s this mine had, to all intents and purposes, had closed down. Whether that was due to changes in the economy and products that were used, or whether it was just due to the safety of the products being used. Now, as the location stands today, not only is it a wonderful walk to have a little bit of a trek out here, the surroundings, countryside, are absolutely stunning. I can't overstate how beautiful it is up here. But more than that, it really serves as a time capsule of a part of Welsh mining history. And it's interesting to be here, stood in the remnants of the office building, been able to walk through the abandoned quarries, see the kilns here. It really is fascinating to take this step into the past and just really enjoy the location. And I hope you've enjoyed being here and taking a glimpse with me, although it's taken a couple of videos. The first one had to be abandoned, but hopefully this second segment has been worth the few weeks wait, so you can really get a sense of not only the history but the majesty of the site of the Brecon Beacons here. So as you push past the main office block, there are other just single buildings just off to the side here. The track continues on past the buildings, looking like it ascends further. It looks like it's going to be heading up to this upper section here. So we're going to carry on, see what we got up ahead, and the site is still giving, which is then again, I suppose quarry sites normally are pretty large, but it's very interesting, and the surroundings, you know, I can't emphasize more of the location. Although I don't think the workers would have been worrying about how beautiful the scenery was. They were probably more concerned with not getting poisoned or blown up. Anyway, on to the next spot. I'm not sure a video will really do the scale of this quarry face any justice. It's massive, stretches right away off into the distance there, round the corner by the looks of it. An upper section up there which I'm hoping to get up to shortly, just so we've got an overall perspective on the site. But it just keeps opening up and opening up. Wow. Come on, let's get this done. So we're heading up this way up to the upper section of the quarry. As you can see, passing more of the giant rock kilns that are scattered about the site. From what I've looked on the maps of the site, the main cluster of the kilns are in the lot lower section down the foothills on the site. Now this route that we've taken, which is the main sort of drag into the up to where the offices are, it seems to have avoided where most of the kilns are. I mean, there's obviously a couple up here like I've shown you, but it seems like most of the firing activity went on down in the lower section of the quarry. Reached the uppermost quarry face of this site. It's been an interesting day. Well, it's been an interesting adventure. It's as usual battling with the Welsh weather, the elements up here on the Brecon Beacons. Unfortunately, this time, because of the wind, it's been impossible to get the drone up. But what more of a perfect place than this viewpoint behind me than to end this video. Obviously, if you've been enjoying the content, then you know the drill by now. I really appreciate a like and a subscribe. All your support helps, all your views help, and I want you to enjoy the content. It's not just about you watching the videos and liking them, it's about you enjoying what we're doing, enjoying the sites that we're visiting. That's important to me. So all your support is always greatly appreciated. Any comments, any sites you'd like to see me visit, if I'm in a particular location or country, then feel free to comment below. And I'm signing off for today, so I'll see you in the next one. You know the drill. Stay safe out there, keep adventuring, and stay in the groove. get. Are you saying it best? Let's go and get food. Yeah. Any good adventure's got to start with food. Hey, adventurers have to adventure on a full stomach. Welcome back to the channel, people. We're back at it again, back on the roads, me and Weasel. Anyway, this time, this time I'm going to mess it up again, and this will do for outtakes, as always. This time, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.